and I'm gonna do a story about this too, because this is extremely interesting to me. This is an organization I wasn't aware of. This is a situation that took place that I wasn't aware of. Now, the Philadelphia City Council formally apologizes for the deadly 1985 move bombing in a resolution passed on Thursday, November 12th. Now, every member of the council, except Council Member Brian O'Neill, approved the apology, reported the Philadelphia Inquirer. On May 13th, 1985, the Philadelphia Police Department dropped an explosive device on the roof of a residential building. The blast killed 11 members of MOVE, a black liberation group founded in I think 70s, in 71 or 72, by a brother named John Africa, who promoted a back to nature lifestyle. Five of the people who were killed was actually children, right? So when I seen this story, the first thing I thought of is Black Wall Street. Like, I wasn't aware, because just to give you a quick synopsis, MOVE was a politically charged organization that was started in the early 70s after COINTELPRO, excuse me, after COINTELPRO and all these other after COINTELPRO and the FBI, excuse me, kind of stopped messing with the Black Panthers once they dismantled the Black Panthers and kind of neutralized all of the black leaders we had at the time, Medgar Evers and everybody being killed, right? So after that took place, many say COINTELPRO ceased to exist at that point, but if you ask me, I think they still around. I think it's still fractions of that type of FBI unit that still watches black folks, but that's just me, right? So they were involved with this organization. A particular street in Philadelphia, the MOVE organization had a house on this street. Now, while they were living there, they would have politically charged rallies. They would say, yeah, you're right, bro. You're right, bro. Since I started my platform on my website, on my YouTube streams, on Facebook, they be banning my website. I don't know what's going on, family, but I'm gonna keep pushing. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on, family, but I'm gonna keep pushing. They can try to block my message all they want to, but that shit not gonna work. Our people need information. Our people need to be liberated. You know what I mean? We need to be aware of what the fuck is going on out here. You feel me? So I thought this story was very intriguing, because I care a lot about history. And history helps me kind of prioritize what I'm looking at. It gives me a starting point of where things may be going, right? So look this up, y'all. The MOVE organization out of the late 70s, basically, like I was saying, they had a house in a Philadelphia neighborhood. At this house, they would have rallies. They would have like bullhorns where they would say like socially charged messages. Cops, they would have shootout with cops. Like, these brothers was with the business. You know what I mean? They would have shootout with cops and all these different things. And ultimately in 85, because I read an article about, after I seen this news story, I was like, damn, let me look into what these brothers was about. Man, in 85, and even before that, they would have shootout with cops. They killed a cop one time. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm not promoting any of this behavior, but what the fuck are we to do? What the fuck are we to do if we're facing an enemy that's coming to kill us? We got to do what we got to do right now. An important note about this story in 85, because in this article it doesn't go into detail about what happened, but in 85, check it out. This is how they got them. So they begin to shoot like 1,000 gallons of water into the house. Imagine this. They shot like 1,000 gallons of water into the house. It was between 11 and like 15 people in the house. They shot 1,000 gallons of water for 6 hours straight into the house while shooting rounds, while constantly shooting, right? Then the city of Philadelphia, and I'm getting so tired of this shit where y'all fuck us over and then come back years later and say you apologize. Fuck your apology. What are we talking about? We have, out of this MOVE organization, because I'm going to continue with the story in a minute, but out of this MOVE organization, we got like 9 of these brothers was in jail for 30 to 50 years they were sentenced. Some of them are just now getting out, right? So back to what happened on that day on May 13, 1985. They shooting water into the house constantly while shooting rounds. Now, the city of Philadelphia allowed the police department to drop an explosive device on the house. When they dropped the explosive device, it ignited something they had on the roof that was flammable. When that happened, the whole house caught on fire, right? The police commissioner said, don't go in there. The fire department was coming. He said, stop. Don't go in there. Let the shit burn. Now, a sister who survived, one of the only survivors of that incident, she says so the water's coming in, they see the fire, they trying to get out the house, they were shooting them back in the house, right? So obviously they wanted everybody in the house to be dead, right? So when we talk about, because here's the thing, the article I was reading said the MOVE organization was being considered a terrorist organization because of their unruliness, because of their willingness to bust back at the police, right? But what do you call a motherfucker who will bomb an American city block? What do you call that? America ain't no goddamn terrorists? You see what I'm saying? They treat our organizations this way, but look at these white supremacist groups. These white supremacist groups be having standoffs with police departments all the time, letting them know we with the shit. They back off. I forgot the gentleman's David McVeigh or something like that. Several years ago, he had some camp like out in Texas or some city, and he commandeered like an FBI building or some shit like that, and they talked it out with them. You see what I'm saying? They ain't want no smoke like that. You see what I'm saying? So we got the Black Panthers. We have all of these black organizations throughout history who all were created in response to how we were treated, right? Think about that. Think about a black organization you know that's went around killing people. I'll wait. What's the name of the black organization that's just killing white motherfuckers left and right? We ain't even got to that point yet. Every time we start building something, every time we get to the point where it's like these brothers can be a threat, these brothers and sisters can be a threat, they neutralize that shit because they know our power. You see what I'm saying? So when we talk about terrorist organizations, the United States should be considered one. And that's real shit right there. You see what I'm saying? It hurts my heart, man, to see what we've had to go through in this country just to be people, right? We just want to live like everybody else, travel the country, eat good food, raise our kids, put them in good school, put them in good schools with the supposedly American dream supposed to be, but that ain't no fucking dream for us. And I'm tired of people telling me that, man, yeah, I want to come on here. My whole platform, Melanated Fathers of America, is about fatherhood. It's about black history. I want to come on here. The topic later, when I'm done with this story, will be about fatherhood, setting expectations, these type of things. I want to have a whole show about that kind of shit. On some real. That's what I want to dig deep into, have my guests come on, talk about these problems that we deal with as fathers. But man, look. I would be remiss to come on here and not talk about the issues we have with this country, right? And how do we resolve some of these issues? First things first, awareness. We have to be aware of what's going on. Sometimes I do want to talk about stories in a particular way to piss you off, right? Good. Get pissed off. So now maybe you want to help out. And again, how can you help out? Great fucking question. Start an organization, be a part of an organization, mentor some young people around you, speak truth to power every chance you get. If you're a writer, write about truth, right? If you're in a community that's all fucked up, get with some other brothers in the community to mentor some of the youth, clean up trash around. Man, look, there's 1,000 ways you can be of service to your community. That's up to you to decide. Based on your personality, based on your resources, that's on you to decide how you want to help out. But the bottom line is, family, I'm here to tell you, we need all hands on deck. Nobody can be on the sideline just watching, right? Because I understand as a black man, just as a man in this country, sometimes it's so hard to get to the bag. Sometimes it's so hard to put yourself in a position where you can take care of your family properly. And once you get there, you be like, man, I don't want to do nothing to fuck this up. And I get that. But what about the future for our kids, family? What about the future for our kids in this country? You see what I'm saying? If you're not willing to die for this shit, if you're not willing to go to bat for what you believe in, you're gonna fall for anything, family. And I ain't with that shit. I'm getting too old for that. I ain't with that shit. As long as I'm alive in this country, I'm gonna speak truth to power to help my people, and I don't give a fuck who care. I mean, I don't give a fuck who like it. You see what I'm saying? So everybody, do me a favor. Look up the MOVE organization. Do some research about the MOVE organization. Another good thing about learning about these type of organizations that have been impactful in our community, we can duplicate these organizations. Now, of course, when dealing with the Black Panthers, even this organization, when I read about them, they may have went about things incorrectly, right? They may have done some things that maybe they could have demonstrated a little bit differently, so you can learn from other groups' mistakes, but so we can start our own shit. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, sometimes I feel like it don't matter how you approach it, right? It don't matter how you approach it. They're going to deem you a threat because your skin color. And until I can visually see in America that that's not the case, I'm going to continue speaking truth to power, man. That's just it. So do your research on the MOVE organization. Philadelphia, you're on some bullshit, apologizing. What is that apology going to do? You got 9 people who just getting out. The last brother just got out February 2020. He did 38 years in jail for being a part of an organization who didn't like police brutality. The cop was shot. They did. Their organization shot a cop in the head and like 2 other cops. But they were shooting at them. So cops in America have always been beyond reproach. And I'm going to continue to say this. Policing in America started with slave patrols. If you didn't know that, that's the history of policing in America. Started with niggas white men on horses, finding slaves. You get caught, show me your paper, i.e. the ID that we show today. Show me your papers. I may bring your ass back. I may kill you. I may do whatever I want to with you. But slave patrolling, to me, family, that ideology is the same shit that we deal with today. So I don't know how anybody that's alive from that MOVE organization could accept this apology, because it's a little bit too late in my opinion. You feel me? So